Yippee! Obrigado, merci, ciao, hola. How are you?
I'm doing great. You? Oh, we've got
I'm
a
doing
viewer
fantastic.
already. Cool. How does it get any better?
So today we're going to be talking about languages, the good, the bad, the ugly. I joined by the communications expert, that is Katusha. So Katusha, how do you bring ease with languages?
Ha, 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 by torturing you. Torturing you to get out of your mind.
Great answer. So if you're in S&M and you like getting whipped, then you can definitely come to this class. Yeah.
Absolutely.
She says it with a smile. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, what do you want to know, Paul?
Well, I'm learning Italian at present, and I'm doing 2 lessons a week. It's not the easiest language in the world to learn, if I'm honest, and I'm doing intermediate French, which I'm enjoying. That's going really well. And I get a lot of people have a lot of barriers around starting a language because that's the hardest part to an extent. It's like sticking at it, sticking at it, sticking at it. So what creates more ease with learning languages, and how do you facilitate, Katusha?
Well, to start with, when you said, I'm learning Italian, I'm doing 2 lessons a week or something like that, and um, I must be honest, you said something like, it's not the easiest language to learn, so what if that was just a point of view?
Yes, well, that's
To start with, I mean, the tools are the same for everything, and particularly for languages, we have so many points of view we don't even realize. We have so many preferences and judgments of languages. So that's one of the things we start lifting in those classes, finding out all the points of view that are lurking there that you're not aware of, that are sabotaging your, your ease with learning a language.
yeah, because I get it's a big thing for people, and people make it a lot harder than it needs to be.
Oh,
And I love your title, having more ease, languages, and communication. And I get that would be a huge contribution out in the world because it makes such a difference. And like that's what people are looking to do, is to learn a language with ease, or maybe not even learn a language with ease, communicate with ease. Yeah,
yeah.
what's your experience been?
Yeah, it's actually beyond words. When we recognize that our first language is actually energy,
Yeah,
the words don't matter. Words, well, they do matter somehow, but I mean, the words are just, I like to say, the clothing for a particular type of energy. So you're Irish, you've got your color, your vibration, the Irish accent, the English language plus the Irish accent, or even your own accent. That's you froze. You didn't freeze. You were listening to me. Oh my god. So that's a particular vibration to the words, to the energy. And someone from America, from Australia, from the UK will have a different color to its language, to their language. And it's the same with any language. And so when you recognize, okay, this is just about energy, then the rest is just fun, playing with sounds and all the rest to make it comprehensible for the people you're talking to.
yeah, it's such a different outlook on it, because like so often it's like we have to learn the grammar, we have to learn this, we have to learn that, we have to learn the irregular verbs, we have to learn verbs, and it's like what if there's a way easier way? Yeah.
Yeah. How did you learn English?
How did I learn English? That's a great question.
Did you ever learn?
I I can't ever really remember learning English as such. It was just I spoke English. Yeah, simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah. When my kids were born, I was like, oh, how did we go from to an articulate language? Did we have to learn every single thing that we say? I remember also my mom talked English with me when I was born and since then. And I was in a French-speaking environment. And when I went to school, in secondary school, I had English lessons, but I didn't have anything to do. It was there. And I was thinking, how come that I know all those things, yet I've never learned them? My mom talked to me about, daily life stuff. She didn't talk about the global economy or history or whatever. Well, she did a bit, but there were the stories, there was television, there were the films, you grow with it. It's just, you don't make any effort to learn a language. And what if you could have that effortless thing with any language?
Yeah, I like that idea a lot, a lot, a lot. Yeah, it's and how do you actually do it, Katusha? Or how do you start with it? What's the starting point in terms of having more ease?
Well, before I even got to know Access, I was working with teenagers a lot. All those friends who were calling me, help, it's nearly the exams, and my son or my daughter failed in English, in Dutch, whatever. Can you help? Can you help? And whenever I was working with those teenagers, and I've worked with a lot of them, it was never a problem of capacity with languages, never. It was either something in the family, some beliefs in the family, or some hatred between them and a teacher, or something, in a country like in Belgium, we have so many preconceived ideas about Dutch speakers when you are a French speaker, and about French speaker when you're a Dutch speaker. And that contaminates everything and make you believe that you don't have the capacity when you have it. So we lift all of that.
Yeah, well, it's so true, isn't it? Because your point of view creates your reality. So if you believe you don't have the capacity to learn a language with ease, which we're told, oh, it has to take 2 years and has to do this and has to do that, has to do blah 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 blah, then that's what you're going to create. Compared, what if it could be so much easier, so much more fun? Yeah, I really like that. Yeah,
and Paul, can I ask you, when you were at school, did you learn any foreign language when you were at school?
Yeah, I learned French. Yeah, my mum was a French teacher.
Okay. Oh, great. And how much fun was that?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're cutting off from time to time. So.
It was, yeah, it was not that much fun, if I'm honest. It was afterwards that it's actually in the last 2 years when I started to visit France a lot for classes and different things. I started learning French again, but learning with one of my friends, and it's been a lot more fun and it's kind of been a lot more enjoyable. So it's been, yeah, actually you're so correct. Yeah, it is. It's the energy. Yeah, it's the energy of what you're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and at school you have to know this, you have to know that, you have to know so many words by the end of the school year, you have to know those tenses, and you have to know those prepositions, etc., etc. And it's not fun most of the time. So, and it's not taught in a natural way. So once you have lifted all the judgments you have, all the beliefs you have, all the points of view you have about you and a particular language, then you can start asking questions. Okay, what's the most fun for me to learn a language, or to get acquainted with a language, to absorb the language? Because as you know, as an infinite being, we've been everything and we've done everything. So there are so many lifetimes when we have spoken so many languages. There is not a single language we haven't spoken. So one way is also to reconnect to those lifetimes and say, okay, I know this. It's just a matter of reactivating rather than learning it. So it's reactivating.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, well, yeah, it's such a different way of looking at it, isn't it? Reactivating, yeah.
And also about pronunciation, for instance. What we also do in those classes is that we are going to include our body in the facilitation, because
Oh, wow, cool, yeah.
you speak with your body, with your mouth, with your respiratory system, with your hands.
Yes, in italiano, yeah. Molto importante in italiano, sì.
So you speak with your whole body, and according to where you grew up, to the type of family where you grew up as well, the communities where you grew up, the religions you grew up, you have different also body vibrations, body movements, micro movements. And so we open up those spaces where you offer your body that space where you can vibrate any language, basically. Oh my God, there's a big truck here. Decided to make a lot of noise.
You got a big dog eating you, yeah. And the link between the body and the language. What is that link, Katusha?
Oh, that's interesting. Actually, when we are in the room, we perceive all the sounds on our skin. So when the mother speaks, there are particular vibrations, and there's fluids everywhere. So the sound travels through the fluids, and so the baby receives all those vibrations. And there are different frequencies, and when the dad speaks, it's a different vibration, and when the mother speaks, it's a different vibration, and the baby perceives that. What's really interesting to see is that the skin and the ears are developed at the same moment in the womb. That's really interesting.
Wow. And we actually perceive it on our skin. So the child actually wow, my God.
So your first,
and all the vibration.
Yeah. Your first organ to perceive a language is your skin, actually, before it even hits your ears.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. What would it take for me to be able to receive Italian with my body? At
the moment we can't touch bodies. One thing I used to do with people who had a lot of trouble with pronunciation is to have them put their hand on my throat and just receive the vibrations. That was before Access, of course. That's a different tool, but it was amazing how it worked, because then you were out of your mind and you were just receiving the language through your body. I froze you.
Katusha, boom. Yeah, magic. You're like you're like a princess. You just froze me. Boom. Yeah.
And also another aspect that blocks many people is the right and wrong thing. They want to speak right. They don't want to make any mistakes. They are ashamed of making mistakes. They don't, they wouldn't speak a language because they would be judged because they are not speaking it correctly. That whole thing of right and wrong is also one aspect of it.
Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, it's well, and there's so many projections and expectations with languages. Oh, you should learn it in 2 months. You should learn it in 3 months. You should learn it in 2 years. You should learn it in 5 years. Like there's so many things there, and this is the correct way to learn it. And this is the right way to learn it. And this is the wrong way to learn it. It's like, yeah, wow. There's actually a lot in this conversation. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I love these classes. We go places we never suspect when we start, and also there is this whole aspect of communication because it goes beyond just languages. You know, it can be without words as well. Our capacity to communicate telepathically that we are completely ignoring most of the time. And what if you, when you recon, when you acknowledge that capacity that you have and you combine that with your languages, then it expands the field of possibilities for you with languages because you are open to pick up that information as well. Because usually when you are in a learning language context, you are completely in your mind and you completely ignore
Yes.
the energetic aspect of it. And also what is funny is that I've done a lot of those classes in French so far, and I've done it in all sorts of regions of France. I've done them in Switzerland, in Belgium, and every time the place where we were was also an element of things that was bringing up stuff that needed to be lifted. The French have this.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. 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 So
The French have this thing of the French suck at languages, which the English also have. Generally,
yeah.
we suck at languages, and and in Switzerland with that proximity of Italian, German, it's and in Belgium as well with Dutch and German as well. It's so interesting. And then I did it also for a Turkish public, and there were different things coming up. It was so interesting. And yeah, love it.
Yeah, well, it's amazing, isn't it? Because like there's cultural conditioning from the country, then there's the conditioning from our school, our education system, or conditioning from our parents, conditioning from our society. Like there's a lot of things going on there. Wow, I never considered
Oh,
that with languages. Yeah, so many
yeah.
components. Yeah.
Yeah, and history, wars, allegiances, uh, this lifetime, other lifetimes, it's so rich. And what is really interesting is also, somebody says, oh, I would like to improve this language. And then they do the class. And after the class, they say, I've discovered such a passion for that other language I had never thought of. Or, it shifts
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
things. And then, oh, actually, I don't really need to learn that language. It doesn't matter so much. Or it shifts so many things. And then people come with such testimonials. I'm like, wow. And for myself as well, of course, you might say, oh, but you were born in in a family where there were 3 languages spoken, and you grew up in a country where they were speaking 3 other languages, and your mom was a language teacher. So I just chose what my family. Well, let's say that. But even for me, I had so many preconceived ideas about some languages. Some were judgments, some were about my capacity to learn languages that were not, Indo-European, for instance. And I'm amazed to see how much more ease I also have through facilitating these classes with, well, I've just started reading Arabic, learning reading Arabic. So,
Wow. Yeah.
and
That. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Incredible.
And I realized I love all languages. They are all so interesting and all so beautiful in their own way. And of course, there are people who massacre them, who speak them badly. But even that, there is no judgment around languages anymore. It's so delightful. It's so much fun, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you have such a gift in that area. It's fantastic. Yeah, like getting to share that gift with people is beautiful. It really so enthusiastic about it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could speak for hours about languages.
And how many languages do you speak, Katusha?
Of four, let's say three fluently, four more or less, and the rest is shopping, shopping or tourist level. And I know two ancient languages. So
Two ancient languages. What two ancient languages are those?
well, I did Latin
Latin
at
and something else?
school. Yeah, I did Latin at school and I really loved it. And I had an amazing teacher, amazing. And I grew up in the Russian Orthodox Church, so I learned to read and sing in Slavonic, which is the equivalent of the Church Latin for the Russian Orthodox Church.
Wow, that's incredible.
I couldn't
Such
speak it, but I
a rich heritage.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And you've got a class coming up shortly, Katusha?
Yes. Usually it's 2.5 day class. But with the circumstances, we're going to do a 4-part class. So it's going to be in June from the 22nd to the 25th. And what would it take to be translated as well?
Into every language in the world. It's like, yeah.
Oh my God.
What would it take?
What would it take? Yeah. And I've done those classes before with each time a week in between. And now something has shifted and it required to be, organized in 4 consecutive days. I don't know what it's going to create, but I'm super, super enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I can't wait. So where can people get more information, Katusha?
Well, I suggest we post the link below this video sometime really, really soon, like right after we finished. And it's on the Access website, and it's on Facebook, and it's a bit everywhere. So we'll post the links.
Cool. Excellent. Brilliant. Well, great talking to you, Katusha, and I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm really excited to see where this class goes. So how does it get any better? So if you want to have ease with languages and communication, then Katusha is the expert, and we'll share the link down below in the comments.
Thank you, Paul. That was delightful.